Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Another match preview to be done for the Champions League. We're coming up for our fourth match day. We're in the second half of the group stage. Nearly done already. And we'll play the Celtic Park Halloween matchup against Bayern Munich. And for being Halloween, I'm all shit scared because it's Bayern Munich. Big game. This is now my second attempt at doing this video. I actually got it all done. I was very pleased with it. It was a very good match preview in my opinion, and then I discovered I didn't have my mic plugged in, so we're doing this a second time. I'm going to be repeating a lot of my points. Sorry if I don't seem as enthusiastic as usual, and I'm going to end up forgetting a lot of the points that I did bring up in the last video. It went out for about 8 minutes, so we'll see how long this one lasts, see if we can make it any better. But we do take on Bayern Munich on Tuesday night for the second time, after taking them on in the Allianz last time, where the performance was very mixed. First half, absolutely abysmal. Second half, a lot better. And that could be down to one of many reasons. That could just be us maybe getting more into the game. Maybe we settled down a little bit. Or it could be the fact, and probably the main fact, that Bayern took their foot off the gas a little bit. They took it a little bit less seriously than what they did in the first half. And I'm happy they've done that for us. They didn't go out and bombard us with 3 more goals or whatever. Or 2 more goals, as they scored 2 in the first half. But we need to take a lot of the positives from that second half, where we were a lot more creative. Where we were a lot more, you know, getting forward and actually getting into Bayern's half. We need to take a lot more from that performance than the nervy, stupid, careless performance from the first half. We need to take a lot more from that second half than the first, because the first half, let's be honest, the unorganisation of the team was poor, the passing was poor, the structure was poor, there was just nothing happening for Celtic. We were struggling to get into the half of Bayern Munich. There was no organisation, as I said, and there was a lot of problems in the first half. And the main thing, and as I spoke about in my match review, the main thing about that game was we forgot the basics. The basics were gone. The simple things were lacking. We couldn't string 2 passes together. We weren't making moves. And it was just those simple things. And it seems like it comes to a big European game and against the big teams, it's those things we forget how to do, especially away from home. And it was just, that was the epitome of it in that game. We couldn't clear a ball, we couldn't get it to our players, we're passing right back to Bayern. Everything was going disastrously wrong for Celtic in the first half. And we were lucky, we got away with a murder in the first half. Bayern should have got another goal. They hit the bar, I'm sure, or something like that. They had a few decent chances. They could have easily scored far more goals in that first half against us than the 2 they actually did score. So second half performance was a lot more to look at. We were actually getting forward, getting out of the half, and there was a lot of positives from it. Will we use those positives on Tuesday night? That's the question. We are going up against a Bayern Munich team here who are rediscovering their form, who are becoming a better team once again than how they started the season. And we went into that Bayern game, and a lot of the fans were having that optimism level, that expectation of we could go in there and we could get a point. There's a fine line between being ambitious and optimistic and expectation. A lot of people were genuinely saying we will get a point. And you've got to be realistic. A Celtic team with all amount of money against a Bayern Munich team of superstars, absolute superstars, heading over to the Allianz, it wasn't going to happen. And realistically, Tuesday at Celtic Park, I don't want to be Mr. Negative. I don't want to be negative about it, but realistically, we've got to face up to the fact that there is a very high chance, 95% chance I would say, of us losing. Very high chance. They're very good. Their players are unbelievable, their managers are unbelievable, their tactics are unbelievable, and they are on fire again. They went back to the top of the Bundesliga after a poor start, after dropping points numerous times in the opening games of the season. They are back to the top of the table. Jupp Heynckes has came in, completely restructured things and took them back to the top of the table. Well, they should be, yes, but they were struggling. They looked good against us in the first European game in charge, and players are finding form again. We should be very worried, especially when you look at our previous home performances, especially linked to this game. We struggled against Hibs, we were almost beat. We struggled against Kilmarnock at the weekend, a poor performance. We were lucky to pick up a win against, who was it, a couple of weeks ago, I can't remember. We've drew to St Johnstone. Our home form this season, we've got wins, but they've not been brilliant performance wins. They have been very scarce wins, to say the least. Our home form has been questionable. Not to the fact that we're not losing or anything like that, but the performances on the park have been, they've been slow, they've been questionable. That's the word that I'd use, as I've just used 2 minutes ago. Questionable, to say the least. And we can't afford to be questionable on Tuesday night. It's those simple things we have to be able to do. We've got to keep the ball, we've got to string passes together, and we've got to isolate Bayern Munich from the game. We've got to unnerve them, and we've got to use this 12-man thing to our advantage. Last time we invited a team over for the Champions League, we were drubbed 5-0. A team with Neymar, Cavani and Mbappe as the front three. Fair enough, they were always going to beat us. They were always going to beat us. A lot of fans were too optimistic once again, but they were always going to beat us. And we were absolutely throbbed. Because when that kind of third goal goes in, we go down 3-0, apart from the standing section, the rest of the stadium, the atmosphere gets drained out, and that's one thing Celtic can't afford to do. Let 3 early goals in, drain the atmosphere from the crowd, and then there's no intensity from us to unnerve the other team. There's no intensity to keep them out of the game and isolate them. No nerves that are struck into the Bayern Munich team, nerves that we need to strike into them. Apparently we're the best fans in the world. I'm not saying apparently as in apparently. I genuinely believe we do have the best set of fans in the world. But with that, we've got to use it to our advantage, and we've got to isolate Bayern Munich from the game. It's a fan responsibility, but it's also the team's responsibility with the performance on the park. I'm speaking like 100 miles an hour now, but we've got to make sure we don't let things come too easy for Bayern like we've done at the Allianz by passing the ball right to them. Every 2 minutes, ball right to them, couldn't clear it for the life of us, couldn't get it into their half. We've got to be comfortable, we've got to show we're not nervous with the ball. One thing we've got to do as fans is be patient. A lot of fans lose their patience far too easily in my mind, and on Tuesday night we've got to have patience. We might choose to play it out from the back, we might choose to play long balls, who knows. But if we choose to play it out from the back, and players are holding the ball for more than 5 seconds, weighing up their options, don't pile the pressure on them to make the pass too quickly. It's frustrating the amount of times where there's nothing happening, no one's putting a pressure on a Celtic player, and just because they've got the ball at their feet for more than 5 seconds, people start moaning. Give them a minute. Sometimes it is annoying, yes, but in a game like this, the last thing you want to do is put pressure on your own players. That's one thing we've got to avoid in my mind, because there's a high chance that Brendan Rodgers will go for that play out the back, kind of play from the back kind of scenario, as we like to do. We do pass it back to the centre-backs a lot, and we just can't afford to be easily annoyed about it, because it's Bayern Munich at the end of the day. They're very dangerous. They've got very dangerous players. They go into this game with a few fitness problems, a few injury problems, but Lewandowski, right, is he going to start on Tuesday? Apparently he will be fit. According to Derek Ray, he is my source for German football a lot of the time. Lewandowski did go off at the weekend against Red Bull Leipzig, but he is fit for Tuesday. A lot of fans were getting a bit of optimism building up on Twitter and such because Lewandowski wasn't going to play. He is fit. Whether he starts or not is a different story, but he is fit. Ribéry's obviously out, Neuer's out, there's someone else out. They've got a few injuries, but it doesn't take away from the fact that that team is amazing no matter who they put on the park. And Jupp Heynckes is a mastermind tactician, a mastermind manager in general. We have got to be set up for the worst. And the worst thing we can do is let them get an early goal, and the best thing we can do is get an early goal. Set pieces, we've got to utilise them far better. We've got players who are capable of winning headers. Dedrick Boyata scored umpteen last season. He's brilliant at winning the ball from a header. And they've got fantastic defenders, tall guys. They're Germans, they're some of the biggest guys in the fucking planet. And not all of them are German, but they've got some big guys. But we've got to utilise our set pieces. Lee Griffiths, don't be smacking free kicks against the wall. Utilise them, and we might get a few more chances off. We might win corners, we might win more opportunities, and that is what we need against a team like Bayern Munich. Heading in, we have got a team that is going to be, once again, makeshift defence. There's not going to be 2 proper centre-backs. And this leads me on to my team predictions. My team prediction for the game on Tuesday, Gordon in goals, Lustig right back, Boyata and Beton will be the centre-backs, because I still do not know the situation with Simunovic and Sviatchenko, if any of them are even close to being fit for starting. So, Beton and Boyata for me. Beton, makeshift, as I said. Tierney, Brown and Armstrong for me have got to be the 2 centre mid starting, and Cham wasn't too bad in the weekend, but his performance against Bayern a couple of weeks ago wasn't fantastic. Give Armstrong the start. Granted, he will need to drop a bit deeper than usual, but I would give Armstrong the start alongside Scott Brown. Roberts gone 4 to 6 weeks, which is a massive blow. The influence he has against big teams, he's one of the attacking catalysts that we do need with our team, and he's out. He's out. James Forrest will have to take the place. I'm not too bothered by it, but I'm gutted that Roberts won't be there. Left mid, Sinclair, of course, and Rogic and Dembele are must-starts for me. Obviously, Rogic played in behind Dembele, but must-starts for me. Dembele only got about 10 minutes the weekend, which to me signals maybe he was being rested for this game, so I think he will start. That's the team I predict, and the team that's got to start in my eyes for the game. As much as I'd love to see Cal McGregor, Rogic has been playing well recently, and I would give Rogic the start. I feel like when it comes to the big games, he has a big influence. So that's my starting lineup, my score prediction. Where do I go? Do I be optimistic and say, we can get a point, or do I be realistic? And I'm going to be realistic. I'm going to say 2-0 Bayern. I'd be happy with that. If we can keep them out of the game and keep them from drubbing us and conceding another 5 goals at home, I will be very happy. So I won't be very happy. I'll obviously be kind of sad that we got beat, because you don't want to go watch your team get beat, but I would rather 2-0 than 5-0. But a draw would be lovely if it's possible. My computer's gone off now. That shows this video's been longer. Hey, if you have enjoyed, make sure to hit like and subscribe and that. We're trying to get 10k by the end of the year, so make sure to leave a subscription if you're new. That's an easy stunt and a half. But if you have enjoyed, subscribe and like. Let me know your predictions, and I'll see you all next time.